we're going to get started in just a minute. All right, Shabbat Shalom. I'm glad, thank you for everyone who's joined us on Zoom, for those of us following the live stream. We're going to wait and do candlelighting. I'm going to defer candlelighting until the end, just that it's a little bit later and that you don't have to see my back too many times. We're going to jump right in. We're going to get started with our service with Yedid Nefesh, beginning on page 10. Yedid Nefesh, Avarachaman, Mishoch Avdach, Eretzonach, Yarut Avdach, Kemo Hayah, Yishtachaveh, Mul Hadarach, Ki yerav lo yedidutach, Minof etzuf vechol taham, Adonai ziv haolam, Nafshi cholat ahavatach, Anahilna refanala, Be'erot la noam zivach, Atz titchazek v'titrapeh, v'haitalach shivchat olam, vatik yemunah rachamecha, v'chusna abinu havach, ki ze kama nichsof nichsaf, lirot tiferet uzach, anai li machmad libi, chushana ve'al titalam, Igalena ufros chavivi alai, etzukat shevomach, tahir heret mikvodach, nagila v'nisnechavach, Na'ehov kivahu moher, Bechodeni ki be'olam, Yananai, 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 We begin the Psalms to introduce the Shabbat, to welcome the Shabbat. We begin on page 11 with Psalm 95. L'chuneranena l'Adonai nari aletzur yishenu Ekat mafanav b'todah v'zmirot nari alo Ki el gadol Adonai u'melech gadol al kol Elohim Asher biyado mechkarei aretz v'to'afot harim lo Asher lo yom v'asal v'asher We pick up together at the caret on page 12, about halfway down. Arba'im shana akut v'dor ve'omar amto elevavim ve'im lo yadu derachai asher nishbati ve'api mivohu no menufati Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. We continue together in the bottom left corner on page 13 in the English with the poem by Marge Piercy, Shabbat Moment. What you have made, what you have spoiled, let go. Let twilight empty the crowded rooms, quiet the jostling colors to hues of swirling water, pearls of fog. This is the time for letting go, like a released balloon dwindling. Tilt your neck and let your face open to the sky, like a pond catching light, drinking the darkness. And we return to the Hebrew on the next page, page 14, at the caret. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Betagel haaretz. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Betagel haaretz. Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, Yehiram hayam, Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Betagel haaretz. Ya'alo Sadai v'chosher boho az nerzei yahar lifnei kival shvod haaretz yishpatu avet tzedek ve'yamim ve'emunato. We continue, page 15. Adonai malach tagel haaretz yismechu iyim rabim anan v'rapel sevivav tzedek u'mishpat mechon kiso. And we continue in the English. Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad, the many distant lands rejoice. Clouds and thick darkness surround the divine, righteousness and justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming besiegers round about. Flashes of lightning illumine the land. The earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the master of all the earth. The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory. Worshippers of idols be shamed for praising false gods. All that is deemed supreme bow before God. Zion hears of it and rejoices. The cities of Judah exult, as you, Adonai, pass judgment. You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine. Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful. Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, you righteous people, and thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name. We return to the Hebrew back on page 16 at line 4. Shama v'tismach Zion, V'tagelna benot mishpatecha Adonai, ki ata Adonai Elyon, al kol haaretz, mehod na'aleta al kol Elohim, ohavei Adonai, sinura, shomer nafshot chasitav miyad reshaim yatzilehem, or zarua latzadik, ulishrei lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, vehodu lezecher kodsho. We continue Psalm 98, top of the next page. Mizmor shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, ki niflaot asa, hoshia lo yemino, uzero hakodsho dia Adonai yeshuato, ve'ene agoyim gilat tzidkato, zachar chasto ve'emunato, levet Yisrael ra'u kol afsei Aretz, et Yeshuat Eloheinu, hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz, pitzchu v'ranenu, v'zameru zamru l'Adonai b'chinor, v'kol zimra, v'chatzot tzrut v'kol shofar, hariu lifnei ha'melech Adonai yiram, hayam loho. Tevel ve'yosheva neharotim chauchaf, yachad harim yeranenu lifnei Adonai kiva, tishpot haaretz, tishpot tevel betzedek, ve'amim demisharim yanai yanai nanai 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 yanai yanai nanai nanai Yanai, yanai, nanai, nanai, yanai, yanai, nanai. We continue, page 19. Adonai malach yugazu hamim, yoshev keruvim tanut haaretz, Adonai b'tzion gadol, v'ramhu hakol hamim. We continue in the English on the other side of the page. Adonai reigns, nations tremble. The one enthroned amidst the cherubim makes the world quake. Adonai is great in Zion above all nations. They shall acknowledge your name, saying, Great, awe-inspiring, Holy One. A sovereign strength lies in the love of justice, and you forged the paths of truth, judging Jacob righteously and justly. Exalt Adonai our God. Bow down before God, the Holy One. Moses and Aaron among God's priests, and Samuel among those who called upon the divine name, called to you, and you answered them. You spoke to them from amidst the cloud. They kept your covenant and the law you gave them. You answered them, Adonai our God. You are a forgiving God to them, even as you punish them for their transgressions. Exalt Adonai our God, and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy. We turn back to the Hebrew at the top of page 20. Moshe v'Aaron v'Kohanas, u'Shmuel v'korei Shemo, korim el Adonai, v'hu yaneim, v'amuranan, yidaber aleihem, shamrotav, v'chok natan lamo, Adonai Eloheinu, Atanitam, onosehita lahem, enokim alalilotam, romemu Adonai Eloheinu, ve'ishtachavu le'ar kudsho, ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. We continue with Psalm 29 on page 21. Please rise if you would like. Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai bnei Evim. Havu l'Adonai, kavod v'hoz. Havu l'Adonai kevod shemo, hishtachvavu l'Adonai b'adrat kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod hirhim. Adonai, amayim rabim, Kol Adonai, Bakoach. Kol Adonai be'adar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, V'yishaber Adonai et arzei halmanon, V'yarkideim kemo egel. Lebanon, Vesirion, Kemo ven re'imim yanai, Kol Adonai chotzev lavot ish, Kol Adonai yachal midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yachol ayalot. Vayechesov Yeharot Uvechalo Kulo Omer Kavod Yanai Adonai Lamavu Yashava Yeshev Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Oz Lehamo Yitin Adonai Yivarech Tamu Vashalom. Nai, 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 nai. You may be seated. We turn to page 23 for the Kabbalistic poem Lecha Dodi. So we're going to end up doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Again, that's 1, 2, 5, and 9. 9 is the last one, makes that one a little easier. And we're just going to do same tune throughout. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmihanu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, V'shemo tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Likrat Shabbat lechu benecha, Ki mekor haveracha, Mirosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh v'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva orech kumi huri, uri shidaberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. We rise and face the entrance for the last paragraph. Hoi v'shalom ateret v'ala, gam v'simcha u'v'tzala, toch emunei hamsegula, boi chala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi Likrat kala Penei Shabbat Mekabela Hine ma tovu manayim Shevet achim gam yachad Hine ma tovu manayim Shevet achim gam yachad Hine ma tov Shevet achim gam yachad Hine ma tov Shevet achim gam yachad. You may be seated. We turn to page, I just passed it. We turn to page 27 for Psalm 92 to welcome the Shabbat with the Psalm for Shabbat. That is on page 27. Mizmor shir leyom hashabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chatztacha, ve'emunatcha b'leilot. Alei asor v'alei navel, alei higayon v'yor. Mizmor shir leyom hashabbat, tov lehodot l'Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. We continue to ourselves. We'll pick up on the next page. We continue together at the red caret in the middle on page 28. Tzadikatam ha'yifrach ke'erez bavanon yizgesh tulim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Od yenuvon beseva, deshenim verananim yiyul hagid, ki ashar Adonai tzuri Elohav latabo. We think that Friday for the end of the week, we say the Psalm for Friday, Psalm 93, on page 29. Adonai malav, Gehu lavesh, lavesh Adonai, Hositazar, Avtikon tevel, Tevel valtiot, nachon kisacham ehaz, me'olamata. Nasu neharot Adonai, nasu neharot kolam, Yisu neharot yokyam. Mikolot mayim rabim adirim, mishperei yam, adir bamarum. Adonai, Edotacha, Nehenu mehod, Levetcha navagodesh, Adonai lehorech yamim. Yanai, Yanai, Yanai. That concludes our Kabbalat Shabbat. We now turn to our formal Friday night service, beginning Ma'ariv. We turn to page 39a. As we do not have a minyan, we do not have the Baruch Hu. So we begin with the first blessing of the Shema, the third line on page 39a. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בתמרי ורבים בחוכמה פתח שערים כמוכנים חביבים צרכנים מפניהם כי רק רצונו ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ברואים ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו מלך וקיים תמיד מלך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני We continue the second blessing before the Shema, page 40. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, V'shochenu v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'v'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu v'orach yameinu, orach yameinu, u'vahem nehege Yomam v'layla, Shabbatcha ad asher mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. We continue with the Shema, page 41. El Malach Ne'eman. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. והיה ויאמר אדוני משה לאמור, דבר על בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריכם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. באמת מן הכוזת קיים. We continue with the first blessing after the Shema, page 43a or b of your choice. We continue together at the top of page 44. Machut Ratzon kivu alehem Moshe u'Miriam u'Bnei Yisrael lechanu shira v'simcha rabba ve'amru chulam mihi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mihi chamocha Nedar ba'kodesh nora tehilot Osefelet malchutcha ra'uvanecha Bokeyayam lifnei Moshe Ze Elianu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Yanai, yanai, nai, nai, nai Yanai, nai, nai, yanai, yanai Yanai, nai, nai, yanai, yanai Yanai, nai, yanai, yanai Yanai, nai, yanai, nai, nai Yanai, nai, 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 no Yanai, nai, yanai, yanai, nai, nai, nai Nine, 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 nine. Ve'nemar ki Adonai et Yaakov glomen chazak mimenu baruch et Adonai Gal Yisrael. We continue with the second blessing after the Shema, top of page 45. And we pick up at the carrot. Ushmor tzeitzenu v'hinu l'chaim l'shalom e'atav v'rocham ufros aleinu sukat shalom echa baruch et Adonai haforet sukat shalom aleinu v'chol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We rise for Vishamru at the top of page 46. Veshameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat v'asot et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam berit olam beini u'ben v'nei Yisrael oti le'olam Ki sheshet yamim hasa Adonai et hashemayim ve'et haaretz u'hayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash. We continue on page 47. We begin the Friday night Amida quietly. Please say the prayers of your heart, the prayers of the page, whichever moves you during this time of silent meditation. If you have not finished your prayers, please continue at your own pace. We return to page 51 for Shalom Rav, about halfway down the page. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki hatahu melech Adon lecho hashalom. Ki hatahu melech Adon lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael v'chol et uv'chol shana bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. We turn to page 53 and we rise for Vayachulu. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivaham. Vayichol Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher hasa. Vayishpot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher hasa. Vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto ki hivo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim lasot. Without our minyan, we continue on page 56. Please remain standing for Aleinu. Alenu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tet gedula li'yotzeh breshit, shelo asanu goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo samchokenu kahem, v'gor alenu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל Shchinas zo v'gavim meromim. Eloheinu Heod, Emet Malkeinu Hefezulatu, Kakatu Betoratu, Yadata Hayom V'Hashavota Elevavecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, Bashamayim Imahal, Ba'aretz al ha'aretz mitachat enod enod. Ki ha'malchut shelcha hi ole olmei ahatim loch b'savod. Hakatuv b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam v'hed. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. V'yom ha'hu yiheh Adonai echad u'shmo echad. You may be seated. We are first going to we're going to jump in and insert here a Misha Berach, a prayer for the ill. Of this week, we are having our thoughts and prayers. Chava Sarah, Basha Pinchas, Rosalie Gollins, Harold Albert, B. Grant, Diane Shadaro, Eston Neshama, Bat Sarah Avram, Rafael Yom Tov, Ben Chava Sarah, Menachem Mendel, Chaim Shmuel, Jackson Martinez, Terry Kerr, Mirit Bat Miriam, Rita Haas, Aaron Ben Chaya Gola, Dan Shah, Naftali Ben Zev, Al Matano, Sandra Kite, Richard Harbin, Nancy Wagoner, Nechama Malka Bat Devorah Shoshana, Manoach Avram Halevi Ben Ilan Michal, David Ben Rizal Yisrael, Kathy Barron, Yardena Bat Sarah, Gila Bat Hela, Glenn Sharaga Ben Miriam. And please feel free to unmute and insert your own names.
Stephen Lukanik, Larry Locks, Marisa Devotee, and her baby. She just had it yesterday, only 2 pounds 10 ounces. So please send healing, baby Max. Thank you.
And we'll sing Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Imotenu. Those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We will also this week remember the yahrzeits of Norman Dunn, Herman Bergman, and Pearl Pollack. So as we do not have a minyan, we are not given the opportunity to say Mourner's Kaddish, but I encourage everyone to definitely think of those that you're remembering this week, and may that inspire you as we go into the restful period of Shabbat and then the week that is to come. I'm going to, it looks like for the rest of the service, we're going to conclude with Adon Olam, followed by, I'll give announcements, after which I will light candles, do Shalom Aleichem, and then Kiddush and Motzi. So Adon Olam can be found on page, I believe it's 211 in your Siddur. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra V'het Nasa B'chefzo kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora והוא היה והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה, והוא יהיה בתפארה, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה, ולא העוז והמשרה, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי ויצרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ויום אקרא, מנת כוסי ויום אקרא, בידו הפקיד רוחי, ותשען ואהירה, ועם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא, אדוני לי ולא יירא. A couple announcements this week. The first is Shabbat morning services. We continue tomorrow morning at 9:30. On Sunday, I believe the Sisterhood is doing a blanket making. You can check the e-blast for the time and the details. Also on Sunday, if you ordered food from the Kansas City Kosher Co-op for Passover, the delivery time is Sunday afternoon. I believe that is 5 to 6 according to their email, but I could be wrong, so double check whatever information you've received for that. Coming up, speaking of Passover, is the Community Passover Seder, which will be the second night of Seder, which is the Saturday night, I believe it's the 17th. Please RSVP, go ahead and make plans, say that you're coming. We'd love to see you there. It should be a wonderful time. You can, I believe the cost is $55. Misha definitely has more information. She's worked really hard, and it looks like it's going to be a wonderful event. I hear someone.
Yeah, just want to clarify. So yes, the men's club, the kosher co-op is a 5 o'clock pickup. For some of you, there might be others that want to be able to share cases and stuff. So some people order extras, and they're happy to break out the case and give you a packet of something, and you guys pay. So if you didn't order and you want to get some kosher meat or whatever for Passover, definitely come or reach out to me, and I'm happy to connect you to the people that have that. Marilyn Ryman's unveiling is also this Sunday. This Sunday there's a lot of activity. Marilyn Ryman's unveiling. I forget the exact time, but certainly check the e-blast. It's in there. And then to clarify, at noon.
Yes.
Okay, and it's at the Fairview Memorial Park there on Yale. And then the clarification is the 16th, actually, is Saturday evening, the 16th, is the second Seder. And there's a limited seating, so it's capped at 70, sorry. And I think that we're almost halfway reserved now. So if you're planning to come, please make sure you RSVP either online or contact the office.
Thank you. So 2 other announcements. One is that the congregational annual meeting is coming up, is the Sunday, April, I was just corrected,
24th.
so 24th. At, is it 2 p.m.?
Yes.
At 2 p.m. on the 24th is the Sunday after Passover is over. Lots of things that the congregation will be talking about, and if you want to say in what the next several years looks like, we encourage you to come, participate, and vote, and be involved in the synagogue. The last announcement is for Friday night services, Michael Seidel is guest starring. He will be here next week, the first Friday night of every month. So please tune in, come join. He always does such a wonderful job when he leads.
And actually, there's one more thing on Sunday. Talia is doing her classes on Friday Night Melodies for those that are interested in participating or even helping out with Friday night services, and can feel more comfortable doing so with some training. She's doing that on Sunday morning as well. So you can literally, there's enough time to go from one to the next, boom, 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 and do all four things on Sundays. I think it's 10:45.
10:45 to I think it's 11:30.
Yeah, it's just an hour.
45 to 11:45, and it'll be
11:45.
on Zoom because she's going to be in the mountains. Hopefully, she'll have be able to connect.
Yes.
Yeah. So come join them for that, and that's it.
Wonderful. With that, I will go ahead and conclude with lighting candles, Shalom Aleichem, Kiddush, and Motzi. There is a page for that, but I'm not sure I have that page readily available.
55, I think.
Something like that. Kiddush is on page 55. But we're going to start with candle lighting. Let me make sure when I move away, Zoom does not disappear. There we go. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. There we go. I'm almost on screen. We continue with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharim, Malachei Elyon, Yihi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Barchuni L'Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Tzidchem L'Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon, Mihi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kiddush can be found, or half of Kiddush can be found on page 55. Yom HaShishi, Vayachol Hashem V'aretz V'chol Tzva'am, Vayachol Hum Yom HaShvi Melachto Asher Asa, V'yishput Yom HaShvi Kol Melachto Asher Asa, Vayivarech Elohim et Yom HaShvi V'kadesh Oto, Ki vo sheba mikom melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot savri chavrai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ava uvratzon v'ilanu zikaron ma'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila l'mikrahi kodesh Zecher l'tziyat Mitzrayim, Kivanu v'acharta, V'yotanu kidashta, Mikol ha'amim, V'shabbat kodshecha, B'hava uvratzon, Hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. And we end with Hamotzi. Reshut Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz. And with that, I wish everyone a wonderful Shabbat Shalom. Thank you all very much for joining, and enjoy the rest of your Shabbat and the rest of your weekend.
Good
Shabbat
job.
Shalom.
Beautiful service, Jonas. Thank you.
Always beautiful. Thank you, Jonas.
My pleasure.
It's good to see everybody that's here.
Good to see everyone.
Good night. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, y'all.
Good Shabbos. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay.